Jiffy, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Jiffy, Jiffy, can you hear me? Let me hear my phone. Jiffy, can you hear me?
Yeah, good afternoon, Chinaya. Good afternoon,
Good
everyone.
afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. So, who are we waiting for? Or how many people always come on board?
Yeah, so can we just give them maybe like a couple more minutes so the
Oh,
number of people here can increase.
that's fine.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Hello, so good afternoon, everyone. I'll be taking you for two sessions for the R programming language. Please confirm if you can hear me, so that I'll take it up from there.
Can
I
hear
can
you.
hear you. I can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can hear you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I based on I was here initially, so I know that you people have not been taught about the Python language. So that's why I said I advise that you go through the Python programming language for data analytics so that for you to move from probably Power BI to R may be a little bit confusing. So it's better you go through Python programming language for data analytics or data scientists. And when you're moving to R, I'll be sort of trying to relate the relationship or the similarity in the programming language of what R tend to have in similarity with Python. But there are so many differences because initially R was developed or programmed for mainly statistics mathematicians to be able to work. So when you're seeing some JDs, you'll be seeing if you have R or you have Statista or SPSS, because it was solely designed for mathematicians, statisticians, researchers to be able to do what's it called? Big analyze big details. So I'm going to sort of start from asking some basic questions because when you start Python, you're being start with the data types that are in Python. Also in R, there are some data types that are in R that you need to be familiar with. Some are similar, some are a little bit different. But you see the correlations in both. So you'll be able to see what is actually applicable to one and what you can borrow from the good knowledge of Python to use in R. And to just tell you everyone that R is very, very key sensitive. When I mean key sensitive, if you want to do James, you start with capital letter and the rest is in lowercase. It's different from everything in lowercase. It's that very, very sensitive, and it doesn't allow you to put like space, like you're saying James Omo. So James space Omo. You want to sort of see it as assignment operator. It won't allow it. Is either you put probably underscore something to join it together in that regard. So I will start from what are the data types that you're being taught in R? So can someone just mention it to me so that I will know that you have a good understanding of what you're being taught in R? Oh, sorry, what are being taught in Python? So what are the data types that you're being exposed to in Python? Yeah, over to the floor. Before I start with what we have in R and sort of tell you the similarities there. So anybody?
I know strings, integer.
Variable character. So yes, you have strings, yes, fine. Is it called integer? Because you know, integers can be sort of do you see my whiteboard?
It's loading.
Fine.
It's loading.
Is loading. Oh, okay. Okay. So integer, yes. So you need to be more specific when you talk about integers.
There's numerics, the integer, floats. and the-
Exactly. So it's more of a numeric. So what other data type do you have?
There's
Text.
text as a string.
Yeah, that's the string. Yeah.
Yes, text. We have the boolean, the
Yeah, you have the Boolean. Great.
true, false. Yes.
Binary.
Binary. What do you mean by binary?
Zeros and ones. That's how I understood it.
That's
Oh,
boolean.
okay, great. So somebody is saying text and string, numbers, float, and Boolean. Great. So that's where the number comes in, float or integer. Do you get? So you can just put it as one. So the basic one you are being exposed to that nobody is talking about. So I would like you to just talk about it. How can I write on these things? Seriously, it's been a while I use this. Yeah, let me see, can I write? So you've been taught about lists. Is it?
Yes, there's list, the sequence.
So there is list, there is what we call dictionary.
Oh,
There
look.
is all, so there is what we call your tuples, there is what we call your sets. Do you get? So those are some sort of data types that we have in Python. So when you want to come to, seriously, I think they've done an upgrade to this thing. So I'm trying to use, I want to write. It's been a while I use this Zoom. So sorry. I'm looking for a way to write on it. I'm just seeing everybody's name flying. Before I would just use the mouse to write. So maybe let me just share my so let me just come up with my R. Maybe I'll just be typing in the R. How you see it. Can you see the R?
No.
No, it's the whiteboard.
I'm putting the whiteboard.
Okay, it's only the whiteboard. So let me stop sharing the whiteboard. Stop sharing the whiteboard. Probably let me share my screen. So let me share my entire screen. So let me share my screen. So that I will just say, so this is at least you know this. I'm trying to bring up the okay, this is it. This is what I'm talking about. So yes, so this is what I want to do. Sorry. Got it. Sorry. So seriously, it's been a while I've got to this visit. So sorry. Okay, let me share the whiteboard now. So can you see the whiteboard now?
Yes.
Yes.
So for R, you mentioned some things that we have in R that are data types. Data types. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, data types in R. So for R, so normally in what's it called? In Python, you use this. What is this called in Python? So what's this called in Python? When you say is equal to, if I say name is equals to 2, what's this called in Python? Or what's the code general based on your understanding? So because I'm calling these two to be named so that when I call, okay, am I sharing my screen? Yes. So let me sort of bring out this. So I can, yeah. Can you see the Jupyter Notepad?
No,
So if you can't see it. I thought I'm sharing my
we're
screen.
seeing the whiteboard.
Oh, whiteboard. Sorry, I want to share my screen. Can you see the Jupyter Notepad now?
Yes.
So if I do something like this, and I said name, what's this called? This is equal to. So it's called as yeah, I'm assigning it, yes. So it's called assignment operator.
Assignment.
Do you get? But in R, you can use it, but in R, this is what you use in assignment operator. Yeah, how do you put it? Is it less than or yes, this is less than the minus in front. So that's what you use as an assignment operator in R. So I was just trying to be up and down with this thing. Sorry. Below whiteboard. Can you see the whiteboard? I can't write on this one. Stop sharing. Please let me just stick to this my R. So I won't stop going up and down. So I just want to assume that everybody has downloaded the R. We now have this R and R Studio on your system that we can work with. Is
Yes,
that a
we
yes?
do.
So
Yes.
So to in what was it called? In R, we have some data types in R. So you've already mentioned it. We have the integers. Trying to just open the system. So in R, we have the data types. So let me just be typing here. I'll clean it later. So for you to like do like a comment, I'll just put this so it won't run. So what are the data types? Data types in R. So you have your what? Your integer.
We can't see your screen.
Are you serious? Oh, so sorry. Yeah, it's been a while. Apologies for that. Can you see now?
Yes.
So I'm trying to like, okay, coming from Python, you've mentioned the data types you have in Python. Now is the data type we now have in R. You have your integer and you have your they call it double. Sorry. I'm supposed to be using the whiteboard, but man, it's been a while. You have your double, you have what is called, sorry, I don't want to use this today. You have what is called complex. Yeah, complex, and you have what is called your character. So I'm going to be explaining all this one by one to you. So I'm going to push this hashtag something, so it's not be able to run. So if you want to do any comment, just put this hashtag and it will run. So these are the data types we have in R. And in R, like I said before, if I want to say A, normally in your Python, you do 2 like this. It will still run. Sorry, where did I want to hide this. Is it hiding? Let's want to hide this. So it will still run. So when I say my A, you see it down here. So this is where the console is. This is where my where I'm running the R, and this is where I get the results down part here. And this is what we call the environment. From my own side is the right hand side, and this other one is I will explain more of these parts more later on. However, instead of using this equal to, this is not in the way R is designed. You're supposed to use this less than a minus sign in R. If I run this A, it will give me 2. In what was it called? In Python, if you want to run any command, you use your Shift Enter. But in R, you use your Control Enter. You can see the difference. It's almost similar, but a little bit differences in the two. So for your Python on your Jupyter Notebook, to run it, you use your Shift Enter. But for R, you use your Control Enter. So, and in what was it called? In R, if I want to check the data types, normally in your Python, you just do type. But in R, you do type of. Type of. Normally, once you type in it, you should be able to see it. Type of. And if I say A, if I control, you see it's saying double here. Normally, who can just explain to me what we mean by integer?
Okay, an integer is a number, a whole number. So that is not lower than 0. That is not lower than 0.
That is not lower than 0.
Yeah, that is on the coding now.
So even on the coding, your integer is a whole number, positive or negative, including of 0 too.
Okay.
Yes. So your that is your integer. So when you say double, double means is in decimal. That's not your integer. So the default for any number you're putting on R is being seen as double. Double means it's seeing this 2 instead of 2, it's seen as 2.0. That's the way it's saying it. But if you now want a natural 2, you now put L in front. And once you run this and you now check the data type, you now see that the down part has turned to integer instead of double. Can you see the difference? So because they are assuming that for you to run any number, it's better to take the default as being double. 2.0 in the recency says like it's 2. So, but if anything that comes like 2.5 and you want to add it to 2.0 or 2, it wants the entire number that you're putting on that assignment operator to have the same kind of data type. So that's why the default setting for any number you're putting in R is being seen as double. That means it's in decimal places. So if you naturally put 2 without the L, you will be seeing it from the back end as 2.0. But to remove or tell R that, please, I want my natural 2 without any decimal, you put L in front. And that is for integer and double. So for complex number, in the real sense, you may not be, you're not going to be using it, but just for teaching purpose, it will look like something like maybe you're saying Z is being assigned to maybe 3 plus 2 high. So this is being seen as complex number because, you know, I say from the initial settings, it will still run. And when you say, what is my Z? It will tell you this. And you say, what is data type of Z? It will tell you from this down part is complex. Because I told you from onset that R is designed for statistician, for mathematician, for researchers and things like that. So they will be doing some complex numbers, some things, so they will know how to do this. But we want to be using R for data analytics. So we may not come across where we want to use any complex number. So, but for teaching purpose, we still need to expose everyone to it so that in case of anything they ask you, you tell them that in R, the data type will still have is we say have complex number. And for the character or what is being known as string in Python, you have to put it in quotes. Like you put something like James. And once it runs it, you say X. It will tell you James, and you say type of James. It will tell you did I type wrong? James cannot be found, so I need to quote it. So it will tell you is a character. So those are the data types we have in R. And in R, we have what is called logical variables. So we have what we call the logical operations. And it's same thing that what we have in Python too. So in Python, you're being exposed to some logical operations. Who can tell me what you've been taught about the logical operation we have in R? Let me just put this. Don't tell me you've forgotten that, because I know that they just finished teaching you about that. So what are the logical operations we have in R? Or let me say logical operators we have in R. If I mention one, I think you will know it. So let me start from greater than. Which other one do you have?
Is True or false?
True or false? Logical, yes. True or false? You're right. Which other one do you have?
Yeah, less
So
than.
in yeah,
Less
so
than equal
in
to, less than equal to.
exactly. So in HAR, all these one are being classified as logical operators. You're greater than this this other one, or equals to. So what is this one called? Or what do we use this sign for? This double equals to. What do you use it for? Anyone?
To show that two, what do you call it, have the same assignments.
Exactly. So if I want to say, thank you so much. If I want to say 5 equals to, sorry, is 5 equals to 6. You see what it's going to give me? It's giving me false. So you're trying to see, compare one value to the other. So that's what this one is talking about. So in some programming language for R, where you're not saying, if you're saying that is 5 not equals to, you use this. I've forgotten the one they use in Python, but some programming language use this. This one starts for not equals to. And some use for har, this is what we use, not equals to. So if I want to say 5 is not equals to 6, and you will see it's going to give me my true. Yes, it's true. Also, after all this one, there's also all this as the logical operator we use in R, that is, you know, we have not. We have what is called or, and you have what is called and. For this one, this is what we use. This is the sign. For or, I don't know where is it on your system. Is shift this straight line. This is the or in har. Then and, you use this ampersand sign for and. So if I say results 1, I'm assigning it to 5 is greater than 4. I run that and I say results 2 3 is less than, I want to make this one 5 is greater than 4, 2, 8 is less than 9, and I run it. So if I say result 1, or this sign results 2, you can see what it gave me. It gave me true. Why? Why is it giving me true here? can tell me why is it giving me 2? You know, I've assigned result 1 to be 5 is greater than 4. We know that's true. And 8 is less than 9. And I'm trying to compare the results of 1 and 2. So if you're using OR, what does OR stand for in programming? Or what can you explain by your own understanding of OR? Anyone?
If not this, then that.
If not this, then that. Okay, that's that one. Really simple. Explain it that much. So what OR means is one of the statements must be true. If one of the statement is true, it will run. You will see if I put results 1 and I put this ampersand and I put results 2 and I run it. Okay, I think both of them is true. So let me do this. Let me run this. If I run this to be true, if I run this, it will be false. So what this one is telling us is, the first one is saying that if any of the result is true, give me true. That is all. If you're testing 2 statements, any of it that is true, it will give you a true statement. So in programming, in OR, what do they do? I think true or false, it will be equals to true. Do you know this? Until but it will be the opposite. If you say true and false, the result will be false, because 2 of them have to be equals to truth before it can give you the result of a truth. So because the second one here, which is this, one of it equals to false, so the results will be false. So that's how we use this other assignment, all these logical operators in R. So is that clear? So in R also, you've been exposed to, I know you have been exposed to it. In R, there's what we call vector and matrix. You know about matrix now? All the mathematician in the house, whereby you have something like 3 by 3. How did you put it? 3 by 3, 2 by 3, or 4 by 3, 4 by 3. So you'll be having something like this. Sorry. So you'll be having something like this, and maybe 5, 6, 7. You'll be having something like 6, 8, 9. You'll be having something like 4, 3, 1. So this is 3 by 3. 3 row, 3 column. If it is 4 by 3, maybe 4, 8, 2. So this is 4 by 3. So your row first by your what? Your column. Same thing is being seen in matrix. like we said before, this is built on the concept of this software want to be used by mathematicians, statisticians, researchers, and the rest. So how best can they come up with what they've been used to by writing some things on paper and putting on programming to be able to be easy for them to work with. So for everything you do in like all these number I've put here like this, for all this number, this single integer now is being seen as what? A vector. This single one here is being seen as a vector. All this one here has been seen as a single vector. Even this is being seen as a single vector. So to them, they have what is called numeric vector, and they have what is called character vector. So your normal integer and double is being seen as numeric vector, while your the string or the character is being seen as character vector. So, however, in R, I can do something like this, 1 into this, and I will run it, and it will run. You can see the down part is giving me 1 to 5. So I'm telling her, give me number between 1 to 5. And I can also give me between 6 to what? 20. It will still run. Is this thing possible in Python? What I've run now, is it possible in Python? Anyone, is this possible in Python?
Yes, it is, but I think there's a different code for it.
So what's the code?
I forgot to know. Mr. Francis knows.
You're saying Dr. Francis knows. So your teacher knows. He's with that. You guys are funny. They've taught you guys, you say Dr. Francis knows. Who's supposed to know? So, so in Python, you've been taught what is called imports. You see this import numpy as what's it called? MP. You've been taught this now. And if you want to run
Yes.
something, you now say maybe mp dot array. You now put it here like this. You say Dr. Francis. No. People are funny. You now run it. You can see this sort of similarities and the concept they are trying to adapt. But this is probably there is an inbuilt package that you don't need to import here. But for Python, you need to for import the numpy, which is your number or the array you have in Python to be able to run the code. So, and you have so many ones you can run. You have your np dot random dot run something, and you put your value in it and you run it. But for these, they said no, don't go through the stress. Just put these things hard understand. So this on its own, every single one here that you see in this result here is being seen as a vector. 6, 7, 8, up to 20 is being seen as what? As a vector. And the difference between this one is, let me copy this and put it here. In, what was it called? In R, your index starts with 1, but in Python, it starts with 0. So this one will be 1. Sorry. 2. Index 3 up to 4, 5 up to the last one. But in Python, it will start from 0, 1, 2, and 3. So what I'm saying is, okay, let me just do something for you now. If I say my, what's it called? Num is this, and I say 1, 2, 9, and I run it, and I say my num. If I want to call any of these number now, like I only need one particular number. If I put, you know, in what's it called? In Python, it's same thing. You just put this and you put probably 0. You want to get the value of 1. If you run this one, it's not going to give me anything. It's going to give me as an integer. But if I put 1 here, it's going to give me the result of a 1. You can see the result here. But in Python, if I put 0, that is when 1 will come out. But in R said no. My index starts from 1, not 0. So those are some of the differences, similarities you tend to adopt when you're in your workplace and you're trying to, like, oh, as a data analyst, I need to work with R. I need to work with Python. You don't get frustrated like, wow, this thing I run it is supposed to run now. So there are some differences and similarities you need to put at the back of your mind. So this number on its own, this 1 is being seen as a vector. Index 1, vector. So if I want between 1 to 5, I will just indicate it here, 1 to 5. And it will give me my 1 to 5 down here. And I can do whatever. So I can assign this one to another number. I say number probably 2, and then assign it. If I run it, and I run number 2, sorry. If I run it, yes. And I run number 2, it will give me my 1 to 5. So is that clear? So those are the sort of differences and similarities we have in R. Then 2 in R, I think in Python you can just run like this, like maybe I want to assign name is equals to a string, comma, sorry, comma, this, comma, this, comma, this. So I put this one in 1, 2. Okay, let me use normal name. I put Moses. I put Paul. And I put David. For Python, this will run if I run it. Do you get? So I think I just need to put copy this value instead of this one. So this is being seen as a list. It will run. But for R, it will not. So I need to do what? Combine it. Like I want the entire combine. So if I run this, sorry, and I run this, it will run. It will give me an error because it's only expecting Moses. If I do this, and I do, let me do hashtag. I do this one will run. And I put name. It will give me my Moses. But if I bring it back, it will not. So I need to put what is called combine. It's called C. That I want to combine all these values together. So when I now run it to run and I say name, it will now give me. You can see the difference here. For your Python, you don't need to put any C in front. It automatically sees that, yes, you're grouping this. But for R, you need to say, please, I want to combine all these values together and give me as a whole. So now, if I now want to call only Moses, I will just put this and I'll put my 1 and I'll call Moses. If I want to call Oni, I'll just put 2, I'll call my Oni. Same thing with Paul, 3, I call it. However, in, what was it called? So normally this one, this Moses, like this, okay, let me copy this one out. So normally this is 1. This is your 2. This is your 3 index to call it. This is your 4. In R, if you want to call it from the back, you say this is your -4, -3, -2, -1. However, if you're using a negative number, you're deleting it. But in Python, you're calling it from the back. If I put minus here like this, -3, I'm saying delete Paul from the list of you're assigning to name. So if I call this now, you will see what it's going to give us. It will remove Paul from it. However, in Python, it will only give me Paul. Sorry, it will give me Oni in Python. So, okay, Python will start from here, -1 from the back. So it will give you Oni in Python. But in R, it will delete Paul. Do you get the differences and the similarities that you're trying to just say? That's why I said it's better for you to learn your R than to learn learn Python to come to R, because you can leverage on those knowledge to be able to say, okay, this is what works very well with my Python, and this is sort of similarities and differences in R. So if I want to assign this list of names to a different thing I want to remove Paul, I will just use my -3. But in R, it's going to take it from the one under, which is -4, -3. Sorry, from Python, it's taking it from -4, -3 from the back like that. But in R, you will still follow that same 1, 2, 3, but just add your minus to it. Then you are telling it delete Paul from the list you're going to be giving me. Then I can now assign this name to another name, maybe Paul or something did something, it was being expelled. So I'll just remove, instead of me typing it again to delete Paul, I'll just put -3 and remove Paul, and you're moving. So that's sort of differences we have in house. So this on its own is being seen as character vector. Is that clear? So we are moving ahead. Don't get bored, because you're still going to, I think probably by next week, we'll go to the one that is more similar to what you did in Python. But if you don't get the basic of all these things, once in a while, you have to be using all these code to derive some things out, you now be wondering where is it coming from. Okay, if you check to on my own side is on the right, on this part here, that is called environment. You can see everything we are running is coming out here. On this part here. This one is called environment. And if you can see this broom, if you want to delete all these things, you just click on this broom and it will tell you, say, do you want to delete me? Yes or no? Then you clear it off. So there is other functions we have in R. One of it is called sequence. So you don't write it in full, you just say sequence. And again, before I go further, if you want to check if you're so confused about anything in R, I think in Python, you just do your Shift tab. So you'll be able to see it and click on that plus. It will bring out all those things, and you can see like the definition of those functions that you're trying to work with, how to put in those variables to be able to get the best results. But for R, you just put those functions and you put question mark. Just put your question mark in front and do your Control Shift. That is where this other part comes in. If you see sequence generation, so you can come here to read what it's the variables I'm putting inside. So it's telling you that for sequence, you can see .int. That means you want to specify that give me only integer from maybe 1 to by maybe the interval. So anything you're confused about anything in R, you know the function, just put in question mark in front of it, Control Enter, then you can read those things from outcome you see here. So you can see it's saying from this to this. You can see some other things you can see here. Just read through to get a good understanding of what you needed to do. So right now, if you need a series of a number, I'm saying that sequence of 1 to 15. You can see it here is giving us our 1 to 15. Also, there is another one that is called repeat. This one, you're just saying, repeat certain number for me in how many times. So if you put your, what's it called? Your question mark here, and you check. So you can see, it's saying X, how many times? So if I put this sequence, let's see, sequence 1 to 6, repeat it for us 3 times. Oh, this question mark is there. Can you see what is giving us here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can just say maybe assign this one to T, and I say and I'll run this this. If I say repeat T 3 times. Sorry. So and I say 3 times. Oh, okay. So it's giving me 1 to 15, 1 to 15, 1 to 15. So there is also what is called these are inbuilt function, square root of square root of 16 and the rest. Is that clear? Hello, is that clear?
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing trying to see if you guys are following. Sorry, just confirm. Are you still seeing the RStudio?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So do you get all these functions?
Well, I got some of them. I just reasoned maybe it's because it's my first time with the software, so I'll still be able to, still go through. But as Dr. Francis used to tell us, the one that you understood, hold it to help you to understand the one you got.
You did not understand. I love that. I love that. So these are basic functions. There are other functions you need to know because there are so many, but however, so at least you guys should know what is called 80%, 20% rules. So most of the time, you just need your 20% to be able to solve the 80% problem. Do you get? So that's what there's if you check as I'm typing some things like is dot, you will see the list. Can you see this list of what is coming out?
Yeah. And I
Is
even
a
noticed
lot.
this
Is a lot. Yeah. So the point is it's not everything you may need at the end of the day to be able to be a good data analyst or data scientist, but there's some that are very applicable and very necessary for you to be able to work effectively. And that's what we're being exposed to. Same thing here too. It's not like I know the entire thing. I still, the good thing is when I was doing my own time, I downloaded everything. I have it in my hard drive. I refer to it anytime. All the videos, I refer to it anytime I want to. If I'm really get stuck, I can't go to that one. I quickly check my YouTube. But good thing is you have a good foundation of where you're going to. And when you get stuck, you just quickly go and just like, okay, this is what I need. It won't take you more than a minute, and you just quickly get it off. Maybe YouTube, maybe you just Google it and say, oh, okay, this is what I miss. And you just quickly do and you move on. Instead of you now sitting down to be listening to 1 hour. No, no. So you just need to have those 20%, what is really applicable to what is needed for you to be able to do well. And you'll be able to solve 80% of the problem. And that's just the simple truth about those programming. Like Dr. Francis always say, you see people typing when you are watching film, is a lie. Nobody does that in the real life. Nobody does. Maybe AI, maybe when they put AI to type, maybe. But no human being will be typing and getting results. It's not done. So it takes a lot of diligence, work, and look through. You just need to have those basic fundamentals, basic background to all these things, and you'll be able to like, okay, navigate through. So when we are learning it, but over time now, it's just something that's become part of you. Sometimes I get stuck, I'll just go, oh, this is what I needed. I need this thing. This dark, so oh, how did they do this dark measure in Power BI? Oh, okay. This is what I'm missing. And you move on. So it won't take you 1 minute to get, okay, this is where I'm getting it wrong, and just quickly check online or something, or one resources. And before you know it, you have a good understanding of the entire thing. And you solve the problem. And people will just be looking as one genius. It's just because you have the 20% and it's helping you to solve the 80% of the problem. So other functions that you will need to just clarify is what we call is numeric. This one is just for you to just check probably those values. Which other values have we used here? Z. So if I put Z here, what's the difference? Oh, sorry. Obvious. False. So it's just trying to check if you have certain values, because in the real sense, you're not going to be creating those numbers. You're going to be importing big data. So probably at a column, you want to check, is this still numeric? That's when you use this number. You just put the value here, in the heading, you just put it here. And you say, is it numeric? Because you want to run probably arithmetic operation for that column. And you want to check, is this thing having the right data set for you to be able to run? Because you cannot be having character or string among numeric, and you want to run it. Even in Excel, it won't run. Common summation, it will not run because the value are not the same. So it's giving Excel a lot of problem. Like, how can I be having A among 1, 2, 3 of numbers? Where do I place A? Stuff is a little bit convincing. So if you want to do that, that's where you come up with this. Like, let me check this entire thing. Is it new? So once you place that in there, it's not so. So you'll be able to check through and say, okay, where is the missing data or something that is not in alignment with the what I'm trying to calculate. Another one is character. So let me put Z here. I think I have one that is character here. Okay, X. So if I put X here, it's supposed to give me a yes. Yes, it's giving me a yes. So you can put is double. Is double. Those are functions that you may need. So those are the ones. Then you have is integer too. Is dot integer. You just put the value inside there and you move on. Also, another thing I forgot to mention here is what is called paste. If I have a string that's is scatter I didn't have them grouped together, and I want to sort of group them together. You know, in Excel, you can use what is called concat. I think in Python, what can we use? I've forgotten that part. So, like, I have James, I have probably John or something, and I want to bring them together. In R, you use what is called paste. So, if I'm saying probably greeting,
and then what's different is the bubble chart allows you to then attach two additional measures that you can use for comparison. So say, for example, you change and hash the values.
sorry, who is disturbing us? So, name, and I'll say Bob. If I want to pass a message now, like I want to group these two together. So I will just do what is called paste. And I'll just do greeting, comma, name. Then group object greeting. So I didn't run this. Run this. So if I run this, so it will put hello Bob for me. I think in Excel, so you do what is called concat, and you put it like this. You put something like space to group them together. Sorry. So you can put your greetings, hello here, probably hello. Put hello, you can put Bob here. So it's a run this. I think this is how you can run it in Excel, use plus or something. But for R, use what call paste to group two strings together for you to have what you're looking for. So let's go to, we've talked about vector. Now we need to talk about what is called matrix. So like I said before, in R, every number like this one is being seen as character vector. This one is being seen as character vector. All this one here has been seen as numeric vector because they are the same data type, just line up in a single row or true. But if you're now going to be having what is called a row and a column, you're not going to what is called vector. So let me put it this way, like so if you have what is called like I said, so our vector will be like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, let me use 1, 2, 3. So this will be 4 by 3. Your row, so it's being seen as row and what? Your column. Your row first, then your colon. So that's what we call your matrix. Yeah. And there are two ways you can see this thing. So there's what we call the row bind, which is another function. Row bind. And there's what we call column bind. So if you have a series of numbers and you want to sort of group them into certain shape to fit what you want, this is how you can do it. You can say row bind into this, column bind into this. So, okay, let's cite an example of one. So if I say R1 is this, I want to use a string so that you understand. I say I, come on. So combine this. I am happy. And I say how to and I say what's a B. And I say R3. Say 1, 2, 3. So I want to run everything. So I'll just highlight everything now, do my Control Shift. Now I want to now sort of arrange it to look like something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I want it to look something like this. So that's where this R combine and C combine comes in. So if I say R combine, be looking at the difference of R1, R2, R3. You can see I am happy. What a day 1 to 3, because I said use row to combine it. So it's going to see it this way, this on a straight line like this. First one, what I am happy, what a day 1 to 3. See what it's going to do if I do combine and column combine, and I put R1, R2, R3. You can see the difference now. It's now seeing it this way. Hi, what 1? I'm a 2. Happy day 3. So it's changing it sort of like this one will now be changed to row. Sorry, this one will now be changed to column. Like I am happy. What a day 1, 2, 3. So in this, in Excel, what do you call this? If I'm changing, I am happy on a straight line to something like a column. In Excel, what do you call it? So in Excel, what do you call it? If I'm trying to change something that look like yeah, is it horizontal to vertical? Have you guys heard about transpose?
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is what it's doing here. So this is what is doing here.
I just want to ask to get clarity. Transpose
Okay.
is to convert a row to column or column to row, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
So I think I want to, I don't know how many people are in that group. I want to drop something there so we can do some exercise. Don't want to bug everybody too much. Okay, I'm just even saying this. Okay, we're importing Excel file. Okay. I think you go to the next one by importing Excel file. So to be I want to drop sort of so I think I've dropped R file inside. Oh, is it downloading? Yeah. So let's do some exercise so that all these things can now be sort of being clear to us. So I drop it in the group. Is an R file. So just download it, click on it, it will pop up, say or open with, then you now open with your House Studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please, I didn't hear you when you were giving the homework.
You see, we should
So
just open the files into the group.
I've dropped a file
You have
on
seen the
group.
file.
So just click on it, download it, click on it, open with, you now open it with your House Studio.
With my R?
Yeah, House Studio, your HAR.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And please, can you also share this your file? Some of the commands I'm doing, because even some of them I did, I was having errors, but I was now noticing some small things like the what did they call that thing? The quotation mark. I don't know how to call it. The single and double, all those kind of stuff.
What do you want me to share now?
This file, got the functions I practice.
Oh. But I think you can download those probably by tomorrow or Tuesday should be, because as I'm working on it, I'm cleaning it.
Okay.
I've cleaned so many of it, to be very frank. Because I'm supposed to be using the whiteboard, but I'm not getting it. It's been a while I use this Zoom. I'm more used to Teams now. think that they've done
So
an
this is the
upgrade.
assignment just now.
I just want to us to practice with this one now, so that everything
Okay.
I've talked about, you can now see some what was it called? So have you guys downloaded it? Let's see, did I, just- want to see. So have you all downloaded it now? Can we proceed?
Yes.
So you will see I don't know the one. So you can clean some things off. I think I've worked on some things, so but it's still okay. So two files are here. It's talking about revenue and expense. At least we are all MBA students, graduate or still in school. We are all MBA students. So this is just your normal revenue for a stretch of a year. This is for 12 months. And the first thing we are asked to calculate is we are asked to calculate the profit for this each year. Profit for each month, sorry. So how do you calculate profit for each month? MBA student, don't disgrace also.
We're just having issues with network. So how do we calculate what?
How do you calculate profit for each year? So this number now, each of it
This
is
is
for each month. Let's just assume
each
this
month.
is a revenue for 2022
Okay.
for January to December. And this is the expense for January to December. So now, as a data analyst, we send it to you, MBA student from LBS. Please use your knowledge of how to calculate the profit for each month. So what is
And
the
now
formula for calculating profits?
profit is normally the revenue minus cost of but it's okay, revenue minus expenses in this case.
Exactly your revenue minus expense. This is the value you're giving. Don't go too much. We know you are advanced. You are not doing corporate finance and all those things. Financial modeling. Calm down. We are giving two values, revenue and expense. Why do we calculate our profits in a layman? Revenue minus expense. So you can see this is being lined up. So another thing I didn't point out to you is how to do what is called calculations in R. So a very good example is if I have A to be equals to, I want to combine 2, 3, no, let me do 10, 12, 14, 16, 16, and I have my B. Sorry, and I have my B to be this. To be 5, 7, 9, 11. So I can carry out normal arithmetic operation with these values. Like if I want to say A minus B, minus B. So everything is giving me 5, 5, 5. So let me just look for something else. So 10. It's 10. 16. So I run this, and I run this. So it will work like this because all of them are the same value, the same data type, sorry. They are all double in this sense because I didn't put L in front. They are all double. So if I check type of, and I put A, you will see it's double. If I put B here, you see it's double.
It's always mean of double.
Double is just like the one that has decimal, like 2.4, 3.9. So everything here is being seen like 10.0, 12.0, 14.0, 16.0, 5.0. Though you will not see it, but from the back end, that's where it's being seen. It's just like a default. So if I want to say, no, I don't want to see it as double, I have to be putting L in everything.
Okay. I remember when you said it. Yeah.
Exactly. So to make it an integer, yes. So the default value for any number you're putting or integer, no, it's not any number any numeric value you're putting on R is being seen as double. So it is in decimal places naturally. So if you want to override the decimal places, you now put L to just make it a whole number. So that's it. So right now it will work because A has 4 indexes. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one too has. So if I remove one from here like this, will it still work?
Let's try it.
Let's try it. Thank you. We've run this. And let's run this.
So you can highlight then run.
Yes, you can
Just
highlight in
pressing.
multiple and run. Yes. Or you put the cursor at the point of what you want to run. Or you highlight everything you want to run. So see what is given here. Longer objects length is not a multiple of a shorter object length. So I will do another thing again now. I will reduce this one to 2. And you will now see what it's going to do. Who can tell me what has happened? The up one is 4, the down one is 2. Before it was the down one was 3 in numbers. It didn't run. It's giving us value of longer object length is not a multiple of the shorter object length. But I now reduce it to 2. It now works. So what happened? Look at it very well. Because sometimes all this error comes out. And Dr. Francis will always tell you, please always pray for error. The more you get error, and the more you're able to work with those errors, get the solution to this error, the more you continue to advance. Because if you're doing everything is running, I say you're a pro. The day you run to error, you almost cry. And it can be one dot that is somewhere that is giving you a head of problem. But because you're not used to seeing those errors, it becomes a big problem. Especially in Python, the only thing can be one dot, and the error it will give it to be very long. But because you're not used to it, you now be saying, God, who have I offended? My village people, like Dr. Francis will always say, my village people have come again. It's not your vehicle. But if you're used to all this error and you're encountering it and you're able to look at it very well, study it and say, okay, look for a solution. So when the error comes and say, okay, this was the error, you can just quickly go back to your program and say, okay, this is the error to this thing. So who can tell me what this English is telling me for putting 3 stuff before? Or look at what he did, the result he gave us. Just try and look at this and see the result he gave me. And try and see what how did. Anybody?
It's not making sense to me.
No, yeah,
So what R did was, what is telling you here is, R have to double this value. So see what is R did. R just do 5 and 7. If I run it now, see the results.
Oh,
See what it's doing for you. So that's what he's saying
But
here.
you
That
not send
if I
it to do it now. Why did you not do it?
no, that is the way it's being programmed from the back end.
Okay.
So he's saying that I have to double this number and put it here. That's when I
Okay.
can run. But if I make it 3 and I put 3 values at the back of this one, it's not going to correspond with the one on top. That is what the
But
English is
I want to
telling you
ask a
here.
question. What if there were 5 numbers up instead of 4?
So if it's 5 number up, it's not going to run because there's no
Okay.
double. If it double it,
Yeah.
it's not going
Okay.
to. So what it's telling me is I have to double this number. Once I
Yeah.
double it, does it correspond with the one up?
Yes. Oh,
Before
okay.
I can now do this arithmetic operation.
Okay.
That is what this English is telling you. Longer object length is not a multiple of the shorter object length. Longer,
Okay.
shorter, simple.
Makes sense now.
It's as simple
So
as
can
that.
we do this revenue and
So
expenses?
it needs to double the one that,
my code is
yes.
and it's showing error in contrast. Is the
Sorry,
less
I didn't get
than
that.
and okay. Except my code is not running, and what it's showing me is error in contrast of that the equal to the less than and minus that is equal to sign. I've tried to.
Whew. I think that one you have to share your screen. So let me just try and run this one up. Then probably you can share your screen and let's see what is wrong with your own code. So for this one now, for us to calculate our profits for the month, profits, like if I put profits for the month, it will not work. Oh. So so I have to put profit for each month. So if I do my revenue, to even bring it up for me, minus expense. You can see how life has been made easy. Okay, I've not run this code, so I need to run this first. So if I run this now, it will work. So if I now say profit, you can do copy and paste. But Dr. Francis will only tell you, always type in print memory. Yeah, run it. You can see. So you can see our result here. So if I mistakenly just try and just remove one value here, let me say I remove 1 here now. Let me copy this, cut, and I try to run this. It will run. If I run this, it will not run. You can see. So that is the same thing we got the last time. So let me just put it back. And let's do. So now, if I want to check, okay, for December now, I will just put this thing here for 12. So you give me the value for this one for December. If I want to check for what is the for June 6, to give me for June 6. Which one is this one? Which one is having January, March? Let's check for 3 for March. So it's negative. So this one is running into basic. So what other things can we do again with this value? Let me just do one more. So this is where we can use our repeats. So if I want to calculate profit after tax, and they say our tax is 30%. MBA student, how do we calculate profit after tax? MBA.
As profits minus tax.
Minus the value of tax. So we can see where the rep comes in now. Because we have our profit for each month. So we will now want to calculate the profit after tax. So this one is just like your gross profit. You now want to calculate the profit you now make when you remove your tax. So you now want to calculate the percentage of that 30% on this value. Probably you now put it maybe as tax. Then you now remove it from it. And you know that this thing is in, what's it called? 12 months. We are giving value for only 30%. And you need to be calculating it one by one. So you now calculate for January, store it somewhere. Now you see you're giving yourself a lot of problems. So that's where this rep comes in. This rep value. That's where it comes in. So you just do 30% in 12 places times this value of the profit for each month to get the tax you're going to pay, then remove it from this one. So let's just do it and say, okay, put it as our tax that we are going to be paying. And I say, okay, profit for each month. Multiplied by rep is 0.3 in what? 12 places. So let's okay, let's do this. You will see, let's call it, what can I call it? Let's call it C. Let's give it like this. And let's put this rep. Let's say is 30% in. So this is what is going to give us in 12 places. So if I say my T, so you can see 0.3, 0.3. So it's not going to multiply by each value in this. So it's going to look at the profit for each month and say for January, 3.3 times this 2522. It will store the value, store it. So instead of us doing one by one, you just do it here. So if you run this and if we check our tax now, you now see the tax we are going to be paying. So to now get our profits after tax, so it will now be profit for each month minus the tax. So if you do your profit after tax, get your value. Do we understand? Or I should come again?
Please come again with that. It's line 11. That's the red.
11. So
Yes.
you know, we talk about when I say repeat, this is just like repetition.
Yeah.
Like if I say repeat this value 3 for me 14 times. See, he's repeating it 14 times for me here. Do you get? So I know the value for my tax is 30%,
80%.
which is 0.3.
Mm.
And I know that I have 12 months. So it's just wise for me. Instead of me doing, I can be doing it one by one, like a lot of problem. Now say January. You now put maybe profits. Okay. Let me see. Is a lot of while you are looking for yourself. Let me see.
No, I already get that.
No, I just want to explain. I just want to explain to you. Okay, you know, some people they just like problem. So you now do it like this. You now put 1. You now multiply it times 0.3.
But this one, there's no minus in front of the less than sign.
So you are doing for January. You now put January. So this is the tax you're paying, which is equivalent to what you have on top. Yeah. See, this one and this one. So you do for February. You do for me. So the point is, even the person mark you just said, no, this one is not my student. Because there's a function that you can use to make your life more easy. So that's why this rep was created. So I'm giving the value for my tax for each month, which is 0.3%. And I'm being asked to calculate, okay, for the 12 months. Just do it for those 12 months and divide it to get for each month. And you move on. So that's what we've done here. Let me clean this one. So that's what we've done here, which is our rep 0.3, which is 30%. So I can say 30% in 12 pieces. What was it saying? So let me put this one. Maybe because of percent. So let me see if it work. 6%, 17. Let me see. Let's see. I think this one's only about. I don't think maybe it will be able to multiply because this thing will now be seen as a character instead of being seen as a numeric. So what we needed is something like this. So it's the same thing, 0.3. So give me in 12 places, and that's it. So this value here now will now be multiplying. This will now be for January, February, up to December. So automatically, because what's the value of your profit? Profit for each month is 12. It automatically just correspond the first one to the profit for January is 0.3, for Feb is 0. So the only way, another way, this can how am I going to put it, is if we do, we can say six times. Okay, let's even try it. If you say 6 times, let's try it here. And that's what we did the other time, because it's going to duplicate it 6 times. And let's see. It will work. It will work. And once we do it here, it works. And it works. It's still going to give the same value. You know why? Because when it's taking this is 0.3 is 6. And it's saying the one that is up that to be 12. It's just going to create another 6 to match the one on top. So that's what that English is telling you up here. That length of this one. And that's it.
So what if it's something like, let's say 3? And I'm just giving an example of maybe, because in this case, now after doing 6, it will just like do it again for the next 6.
Yes.
But what if is something like 3? Like, will it do it 4 times?
It won't do it
Or
4
even
times. It can only
2.
duplicate. It can only duplicate multiple.
It can only duplicate, okay.
Yeah, it can only duplicate it. So that's what is being programmed at the back end, like duplicating it like that. So will it give, because if it's 3, if it's saying 3, 3, 3, will it give, okay, to give 12 in 4 places. Okay, let's try. Let's see maybe it will work. You said 4. Let's give it a try. There's no harm in trying. It's giving us 4 values. See, it works. Okay, let's see the value. Yeah. However, it's giving different. Let me see. It's not. It works. Yeah, it works. So that means once it's duplicating it, there must not be a leftover. That's what I'm seeing here now. So let's do a multiple of 3 times. Okay, let's do 3 too. If you do 3, it's at a point you will get 12. So let's do 3. So it works. So who can tell me what they are doing here? All this our LCM, that's what is happening here. Lowest common multiple, all those things. That's what they are just trying, the concept, that's what they are just trying in multiples. So the multiple of the 3 at the point is going to give me 12, and there will be no leftover. A multiple of 4 at the point is going to give me 12. Fine. So if we put 5 here, it's not going to work. Because at the point, we are not going to arrive at 5. If you're saying 5 times 1, 5. 5 times 2, 10. 5 times 3 will give us 15. There is no 12. So if you put 5 here, it's not going to work.
Okay, that means it's for a number that duplicates.
Yes, it's a multiple of it that at a point is going to give me 12. So automatically, the R program will read it and say, yes, 4 is a multiple of 12, which is what I'm trying to work with it, which is probably the numerator or something. Multiple of 3 at the point is going to give me 12. Multiple of 6 at the point is going to give me 12. So fine. So that's another discovery people have got me, make me to realize now. It's not like duplicating it. Even the multiple of it will still work for it. So which makes more sense. So another thing learned today. So we're almost at that point. So let me stop sharing and the person saying something too. Seriously, where is my? Okay, it's stop sharing. So who is the person saying something? I don't know.
Okay, is it when that issue I was having?
Yes. So can you share your screen? I don't know. Do we have the right?
Okay, I'm waiting. I don't know. My system like hung, so I had to restart it.
Oh,
I
because
think
I'm
so.
I'm trying to get what you're saying, so I didn't get it.
Yes, and if I had even calmed down, I would have maybe at least even snapped it and sent it to the group because I joined on my phone. I was doing it on my system so that I can, work with one screen. But things
Oh,
were open.
so what you can do,
Anyway,
just probably come with it by next week. So we'll just quickly work with that before we go to the
okay. That means like first thing, I'll just remind you first thing in
yeah,
the
no
class.
problem.
Okay. All right.
So thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. So just do a little practice. So by next week, we'll go to bringing in which is what we'll be doing in the real sense, bringing in data from Excel, from CSV files, and doing your analysis on it, which that is the real life scenario. But however, there are some key things you've been exposed to that you will need in the course of you trying to work with her. And if you don't have those basic foundations, it's more or less like you are learning the big one. You don't even know the foundation. So one day it's just going to crumble. So thank you so much for your time and try and practice. See you next week.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.